6 things that CEOs are doing differently than just a coach or than just a service provider. And if you are in this situation where you are working hard, where you are constantly over-delivering and undercharging, you're booking clients, you're doing it all, but you're not making the little money that you're expecting, your business is not scaling in the way that you imagined it or you wanted it, there is a reason, and that has nothing to do with your talent, with your delivery, with your work, with the strategy, and it is definitely not a luck. So let's take a look at what CEOs are doing differently than just a coach or than just a service provider. And you are going to find this in the day-to-day work you're doing, the micro moments that you're experiencing on a day-to-day basis. So the first and biggest difference between a CEO and just a coach or a service provider is that a CEO is not treating herself or himself or your business just as a service provider, just as someone who is just delivering something, you know. CEOs are looking at the big picture, the next big move, the big vision that you have. You're not thinking in a box, but you're thinking in what is my mission, what is my vision, what do I want to emit to this world and to my people. So this is the difference, the first thing, the biggest difference. And I see this in my daily work, regardless if a business owner makes 200K a year or millions of dollars, because I work with coaches and entrepreneurs across sizes of businesses and industries. A real CEO is not fixated in small details. They are not tweaking captions or sitting in Canva for hours, tweaking fonts and colors. No, they're not obsessing over insignificant details. If there is a typo in a brilliant post, if there is missing a comma or a dot, no. CEOs are looking at the big picture and they are not paying attention to these insignificant details. Now, I'm not saying don't write brilliant content and don't be careful, but you need to understand the difference, because oftentimes I'm seeing that CEOs are fixating in so insignificant details that no one cares about, no one is even noticing, instead of putting that piece of content out, instead of running this campaign, instead of showing up consistently. And this is costing you 6 figures a month. The CEO's main role is to think big, to think in advance, to think how to bring more clients, how to keep current clients buying on repeat, to look at the numbers, to protect the growth of the company and your vision, your overall business, and your boundaries. Oftentimes I see this mistake is being done so much from coaches and service providers. Instead of looking to constantly upgrade yourself, your boundaries, your smart systems that are working for you and bringing the growth and that are doing the heavy lifting on autopilot, you're fixating on small insignificant details. So this is the first and biggest difference. The second one is that a CEO is never going to spend hours untangling a client request that is totally out of scope. You cannot imagine how often I see this. You receive a message from a client and you instantly are in firefighting mode. real CEOs, real companies that are making multi 6 and 7 figures are setting very clear expectations from the beginning, and the client either steps in or walks. And you are often, as acting just as a coach or as a service provider, you're biting your tongue, you're over-delivering, and your team picks up the pieces, which is costing you thousands every week. You're over-delivering, and unfortunately, you are in this heavy day-to-day operational work that is not bringing you more money, not bringing more clients, and not keeping clients long-term. Because if you are in this people-pleasing situation, and many of you are, and I have been there, don't think I don't know what I'm talking about, these clients are not going to stay for you longer. When you don't have boundaries and when you're over-delivering, you're not keeping clients. People-pleasing is not a long-term strategy. These clients are going to leave anyway, but the difference is that they didn't pay you well enough for all the work you have done for them, and you end up exhausted and not being paid. A CEO is not going to do this. They are extremely focused on revenue growth. They are not constantly like all the time. They are not all the time doing this. They are not over delivering and undercharging all the time. This doesn't mean you don't have integrity, you don't care for your clients, and you are not giving a tremendous value and service. But it means that you are protecting your business, your company, your team, if you wish, and this is why you have consistent growth. Because when you are over-delivering, instead of saying, I do this work in my mastermind, or additional one-on-one call costs X amount, you are doing yourself a disservice and your clients. The third one, a CEO doesn't chase clients who won't take responsibility for their growth. They design systems that make the client accountable. So you can scale without carrying everyone's weight. And you, oftentimes, as a coach or as a service provider, because you have high integrity and high work ethics and you want to help everyone, but this puts you in this survivor mode and savior mode. And then you're wondering if your work is enough while growth slips through your fingers. The next one, a CEO doesn't answer the same question 5 different ways because someone skipped the training or just didn't listen to you when you had the group call. CEOs are structuring the buyer's journey in a way that is seamless, repeatable, and self-serving. While a service provider or just a coach who is not having the big vision for the scalability of the company is answering the same messages in your container, the same DMs over and over again. You're doing it manually, you're doing it as soon as a client pings you, and you call this service. Meanwhile, your time evaporates and you're losing money. And even one client like this oftentimes can cause significant problems because this is stopping you from evolving and leading the group. Okay, the next one, a CEO doesn't let their mood dictate the sale process, meaning I don't feel in the mood to post today. I don't feel like showing up today. I don't feel like doing this today. No. Real CEOs have, first of all, systems for this, so it doesn't depend on your mood, on how do you feel. If you have some personal problems and you just cannot show up today, offers, follow-ups, launches, content, attracting new people in your world, upgrading current clients, all this is happening with structured systems and strategy. This is how a CEO leads a company, not when you feel like it, not with discounting, bending, or overcomplicating, hoping for results. A CEO leads their team with clarity, not creating your own chaos. All tasks, responsibilities, boundaries, all this is non-negotiable. CEOs protect their energy, their margins as well. This is very, very important. I don't even know if you realize how important it is to you, to your company's growth, to your profitability, to protect your margins and your energy. And coach or a service provider apologizes for boundaries. You try to set up a boundary, but as soon as the client says like, I'm unhappy, you waver at the same second and you say, okay. And you keep people pleasing, apologizing, over-explaining. When it comes to your team, you're micromanaging so many things and you're burning out while your business is plateauing. All those small things, they are 6, but they are the most common situations I see on a daily basis. Again, it doesn't matter how much money you make currently, whether you're making 5 figures, low 6 figures, or even 7 figures. I see this every single day. The overgiving, the hesitation, the reactive decisions. This is the reason that you're not scaling to multi 6 and 7 figure months. The good news is that we have a solution for this, and I just recorded day 1 from the Scale Like a CEO Masterclass, where I spoke exactly how to deal with all these situations, how to shift your identity so you make crazy money and at the same time you deliver amazing value. Your clients are happy, thriving, the transformation is incredible, but you also have your boundaries. You are not people pleasing, you have upgrades, people are constantly buying, new people are coming, your current clients are constantly upgrading and joining your long-term spaces, so you have recurring revenue. And this is how you are scaling to 6 and 7 figures while also feeling extremely aligned, extremely okay in every single thing that you're doing without being burnt out or overwhelmed. In this masterclass, you're going to find out and learn how to step fully into your CEO identity. Unapologetic, strategic, and magnetic to premium clients. You will know after this masterclass how to build the systems that make your sales predictable, that keep your clients accountable and your team autonomous, because this is also very important. And you are going to lead from a place of authority and flow. You will be giving from abundance, from feeling I have to give, I have and I want to give, not that I have to overgive, to over-deliver to keep this client. And this way your business is going to constantly and consistently and exponentially grow without you burning out. You can get instant access to day 1 when you join now. tomorrow I'm going to deliver day 2, and you're going to learn how to implement these boundaries and how to scale your business. So join today for 33 euros before I deliver day 2, because tomorrow after I deliver it, the masterclass is becoming 111 euros. And trust me, this masterclass is game changing. It is going to completely transform how you are leading in your business, the leader that you are, the way that you are standing. So clients and team members obey you just because of your energy, without proving, without comparing yourself, without wavering in your conviction. All of this you're going to find in this insanely valuable masterclass, Scale Like a CEO. The link is here attached. So join now for 33 before the price goes to 111 euros tomorrow. Bye.